G'day everyone, it's Michael from Larn, back here with Shane Kosteszyn from Moteck Machining and Cylinder Mowers to talk about one of his recent additions or extensions perhaps to an existing product, or I don't know what you want to call it, but it's the center rear roller for 20-inch machines, I guess, aren't they? So,
yeah, for the converted unicorn.
So we've done a video previously on the individual drums, and Shane's now got the center roller ready to go as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it completes the picture. There's many unicorns out there that have damaged rear rollers.
Yeah.
Whether it be a unicorn or a triple twin rail.
Mm-hmm.
I sold one to a local fella, and the rollers are cracked and very low on tread. So he's actually bought this one here for that machine.
So refresh my memory for a minute. The triple roller came on the 20-inch machines only.
Yes.
But it did come on the twins and the solid decks.
Yes.
Solid deck machines, yeah.
Yeah. People lay claim that the solid decks are rarest. Scott Bonnar. I beg to differ.
This is where we get into the discussion as to what is a unicorn, right?
Yeah, really. To me, the triple roller twin rail over here in WA is a lot rarer than a solid deck. I know a chap who has 11 solid deck 20s.
Yeah.
And I bought 2 off him.
Yeah.
That was some time ago. I know another repairer here, not far away from me. I think he had 5 at one time, maybe.
Yeah.
I think he's certainly got a couple. I've had several solid deck 20s, and I've only ever owned 2 twin rails. I've only ever seen 2 twin rail triples. I bought them both.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I've kept one, it's very original, with a good pair of rollers on the back, and I'll keep that machine. The other one, like I say, sold to a local chap, and he'll restore that, wants to restore that. So I'm doing a new frame, period crack catcher, the kit style thing, with a brand new triple roller setup, and then he'll take all the parts away and put it all together.
Very nice.
So that'll be quite a nice machine. Yeah. But yeah, it's good to have this available for those. I mean, out of the unicorns I've owned over the years, most of them, apart from what I'm keeping, the rear rollers were the bad thing about them.
Yeah. Because they just haven't been available, have they?
No, they haven't been available. And see, the 20-inch solid deck, a lot of them went into the commercial industry. So,
right, of course.
Yeah, one that I bought many years ago, the guy sold it because he stepped up. I don't know if it is a step up, but to him, a step up to a Mowmaster. And he said he bought this thing brand new, and he's been using it ever since as his go-to lawnmower. And he worked for building companies with building houses. Yeah. And his job was to go through landscape, put the turf down, and then he'd have to maintain all that until until I was sold. Yeah. So that's what he used his unicorn for, until one day he just said, "Well, I'm just going to step up to Mowmaster." Yeah. So I bought that off him, plus another couple of machines off him. So that's where a lot of the 20s went. That's why the rollers were worn down.
And the 45 was always a residential mower.
Yeah, absolutely, residential.
Even a 20-inch machine.
Yeah. But the I think maybe cost or whatever, and availability, a lot of the 20-inch machines, a lot of what I've seen with solid decks have gone into commercial hands, and there's not a lot of work. And that's why the decks are broken and the rear rollers are worn out. And so they're this iconic rare machine that's the most worn out of all of them. So here we've solved that problem.
So let's talk a little bit about what we're looking at here in the details then. So you're making this end to end out of steel?
Yes.
And the end caps as well?
Yes.
And the center?
Yes.
Center roller?
Yep.
You're doing shafts for the whole lot?
Yep.
And you're talking about pole holders?
Yep.
As well?
Yeah, pole holders are on their way, and the poles.
And the poles.
So it completes that picture, then we'll move on to the ratchet box.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to buy a complete brand new rear roller. The thing is, you're going to mortgage your house.
Because they're heavy, if nothing else.
Yeah, these are a lot heavier than standard, so they'll be really good. For striping and what have you.
But also just expensive.
Yeah, look, it's one of those things.
And everything, isn't it?
The material is horrendously expensive to buy, and it's nothing flash, but it's just you want to buy blocks of steel. That's what it costs. We can't do anything about that. Then the machine time to make them, you've got the design, the development, the programming, the 3D modelling.
Which isn't free.
Sorry?
That's not free.
No.
It takes time to
It
put
is not free.
together, doesn't it?
There's a lot in it to produce the end result.
And so this being raw steel, if we left it like this, it would start to rust on it.
Absolutely.
So what's the treatment for that?
Well, I mean, you could clear coat it, you could ceramic clear powder coat it, but at the end of the day, I don't think it matters what you do, depending on the surface that you push the thing over, it's going to do, what they all do is take that top layer off.
So there's always going to be fresh metal there if you're using it regularly.
Yeah, I mean, cast is very good for rust. But yeah, these will. There's no doubt these will rust. If you wheel them over paving and concrete, you'll take the top of the tread there. You'll take that off, and if it sits there in the damp, in days, it's going to rust. Put it on your lawn, and it'll basically clean it up. So unless you leave the mower sitting there for a couple of years, it's not going to do any detrimental damage to it.
Just got to use it.
You got to use it, and that's what we do. We use these things. If you're making a wall hanger, or like my brand new Red Rover that sits up there and does nothing, well then your options are many. You can paint it, powder coat it, and you've got obviously colours, and you've got the clear ceramic powder coat. I've done some rear roller housings, bearing housings in. You don't even know it's done.
Sort of these things.
Yeah. When these get time to go through there, and I've clear coated them. And the problem with that, you've really got to have a really nice finish because it's clear. But it's quite a. It does protect it. Looks quite good. When you first look at it, you go, I'm getting ripped off here because there's nothing on there. But it actually is. And it's a ceramic cake, so it's very, very tough. And with aluminium, you can anodise it. That's the good thing with aluminium. But with the rollers, they're your options. On this machine, over to my left here, we probably can't see it, might be out of shot, but you'll get a photo of it. That has got a brand new pair of my billet rollers in it, and I've painted them in olive green.
This is, just as an aside, it's not the nicest machine that I've seen. I think it's a customer, so I won't diss it, but it's patched up, it's seen lots of use.
Yes, and
it's got these beautiful rollers in the back.
Absolutely, it's a gentleman's workhorse. The rollers were bald. He's got a sloping driveway, so I can't control the mower. Let's put some new ones in it.
You got to do what you got to do, right?
Absolutely. But once again,
it's an interesting combo. That's all I got to say.
It is. But once again, there's a gentleman that is spending his money in the right areas.
The foundational bits.
The foundation. He can add a frame. He can add whatever he likes to it. But he's got a brand new set of rollers that will last him and his kids probably for the rest of their life. So he's not a Scott Bonnar restorer. He's not after.
He just wants to mow the lawn.
He just wants to mow the lawn, but he believes in doing the job properly. And he has the means to do that, and that's what we've done.
Good on.
It's got a new front roller, which isn't mine, but we've put the exchange sole plate, bed knife, sharpened the reel. I've done a host of other little bits and pieces around there.
I think that's the striking thing, is there's like this little nice shiny brass knob on it. The front roller's in reasonable condition. The reel's obviously been ground, so it's sort of shining out, and there's these like they've been painted, but the rear rollers at the back that look obviously brand new, and then there's the rest of this sort of thing sort of like wrapped around it all.
Isn't that the new patina look?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
This is an original patina look.
Yeah, Angus.
But yeah, I mean the rear rollers, they'll be with that machine, and like I said. That's a foundation, you know, and you can it'll need a frame at some point.
Yeah.
And then, the motors is great, reasonably new. Handlebars are in good nick, so it's not going to take much more to step it up to really good. So once again, some people do it to me the wrong way.
Yeah.
They buy all the frilly stuff and they neglect the basic. They'll go rubber coat a pair of cracked up old rollers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To put a band-aid on something that's broken.
Yeah.
And not everybody can afford these. No. You've got to do what's within your budget, that's fine.
Yeah.
This gentleman did what was in his.
Yeah.
Away he'll go. But so basically to dissect these,
let's do it.
We have, obviously the outer half, and then we have the inner. Oh.
I was going to say, in case you can see in there, there's still a little, I think there's a magnet holding them.
Yeah, just to hold that end cap in because it's not welded together yet, which I've got to do. But that's built, that's out of a solid block. And it was one solid block of steel.
It's hefty.
So there's a fair bit of material to come out of that when you make it. So a lot of wastage.
Yeah.
You've got to buy the block and you throw most of it in the bin.
Yeah.
It goes down through the swarf conveyor of the machine.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But there it is. That's the centre roller that then makes up the 20 triple.
Yeah.
So if anybody has a unicorn with worn out rollers that they want new, and they have the means to extend their finances to buy them, they're here and they're available.
So you just need the ratchet boxes times 2.
Ratchet boxes times 2, pull holders are on their way, and the pulls.
And you put bushers in there. I think you sell them with the bushers?
Yeah. So when you buy, people can buy, as on my Facebook page, or store I should say, you'll buy a pair of these like that, with no ratchet box in. You do your own ratchet box deal, or you send me your ratchet box and I will refurb that with a new bush, right? And they come standard with a new bush here. Yeah. It's nice to do it with the ratchet boxes, then I can pilot ring them.
Yeah.
And I pilot ring so they're dead true.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than you see a triple and nothing lines up.
Yeah.
Even a twin, it just looks odd to me.
Yeah.
So basically, in store, they come like this, bush, okay, but not reamed because the bush has got to be reamed with the ratchet box bolt in.
Yeah.
So if people want them complete ready to bolt in, send me the ratchet box.
Yeah.
I'll put a bush in it, pilot ream it, and out the door it goes.
What do you do with remind me, counterweights on the 20s?
Yeah.
I know they're in the 14s,
yes.
and they're on the 20s as well. Is it some of the 20s or all of the 20s?
And the 14s.
Yeah. So all of the 20s, the triple roller included, get the counterweight?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's an original counterweight.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's just a cast block.
I don't know why, I've always loved these things. They just, I don't know if it's the casting, the roughness of it, or just the little shape that they've, for whatever reason, put into this thing. But it's, I don't know, call me silly, but I've always liked it.
Yes, well, we pulled apart the guy's original triple and salvaged this. This is part number and all on it.
Yeah, it's
and
nice.
In really good nick.
Yeah.
So that will go in there.
And realistically, what is it other than a lump of metal with 2 holes drilled in it?
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be anything special. No, that's right. So, I mean, will we make these? Well, if you're a genuine person and you have a triple and you want to replace, you'll be reusing that unless it's damaged or I can't see that the way this was tucked away inside there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
Yeah, so yes, definitely the 20 triple will get its original counterweight back in. Whether it needs or not is really maybe a contentious issue.
Yeah.
But
so let's talk about contentious issues. Which side does the counterweight go in?
that can be a question for people to answer.
Leave it for the comments.
Yeah. So there you go. Any comments? And I'm sure if people pull these apart, they'll know where it goes.
Figure it out. Yeah. And so just to round out this video, maybe then. So these roller halves are the same roller halves that you'd use for a 17-inch.
Yeah.
In the 20-inch, you just chuck in the center roller for that. The
thing I've done when I designed these, redesigned them if you want to call it that, I've just tightened up clearances on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we don't have to run. Nothing is worse to me than this great big gap you see on some of them.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's wear on the faces and what have you.
Yeah.
But you'll be able to sneak these in, and when everything's locked up, we'll see in this one here, when everything's locked up, you just got a nice little gap there. Mm-hmm. And that keeps rubbish, dirt, and what have you out of it. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, it's still, you get water and contaminants in there, and eventually it's going to rust. I mean, take a very long time. Yeah. You know, they're like 6 mil wall. Yeah. So it's pretty heavy. You need to treat the inside. If someone buys 2 halves, they need to treat the inside. Yeah. And you can prime it. There's many products that you can paint on in there.
Do something.
Yeah. So water can swim around it. It's not going to really affect it.
So these larger holes on the end, again, just to round out the video and then we'll say goodbye, but I've always used them for sticking a dowel down to knock out the ratchet box on the other side. What do you reckon the original purpose of those 2 holes was?
Drainage, maybe.
Yeah.
Your 2 holes here, obviously.
Because it's interesting that you've replicated those. I know.
Yeah.
I know that's sort of your thing, but it's
I wanted.
Why are they there in the first place?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe something to do with the casting.
Yeah.
The rationale behind the casting. The holes here are for the bolts to hold the counterweight in.
The Rovers don't have those 2 holes, do they?
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, pretty sure they do. I wouldn't be 100% sure. Got Rovers everywhere around here. Look, I think they would have used the same casting as what Scott Bonnar did. So, really, they have no brains, the holes. Yeah. No brains at all. To me, they serve no purpose other than something to do with manufacturing and something to get, be able to get water, contaminants out of there.
Well, I've always thought they were very thoughtful to leave those holes in there for me to get my wooden dowel down there to jam off the ratchet box on the other end. So I'm not complaining, but just curious.
Yeah, we've replicated them, even to the taper here.
Yeah.
This is tapered, so we put the original taper in
it.
It
is, isn't it? Yeah.
You could just, it's easier to actually just bore that straight in, but we've replicated the taper. Really, you won't notice, once they're in and painted whatever, you wouldn't know that they weren't the original.
Yeah, and it's not like you can really see into that.
No.
Not that easily anyway, but it's always funny. I've always looked at that. It's funny, I've always looked at that and thought, it doesn't look quite square. And you mention it. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah, it does. Your eye picks up my eye.
I never registered. My eye picked it up, but it never got to my brain.
Being a machinist,
of course.
You look at things straight away. You look at things straight away, and
you can tell.
It makes your eyes go funny. But that replicates the original taper that was in there. I painstakingly 3D modelled that and measured it and made sure we got it as close as we could get it to.
Well,
but the rolls are good. I'm quite pleased with them. They've come up pretty well, but they're not the cheapest item around, and so be it. We can't control those costs.
If you want them, you can buy them at least.
Yep. If you want them and you need them, you can buy them.
Cool. Well, on that little note of awesomeness, I think we'll say goodbye. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to. Hit like if you enjoyed the video today. Drop us a comment. It's always appreciated. The algorithm appreciates you for doing so. And commenting and subscribing in particular. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.
See you next time. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.